What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today we're talking about the new movie Obsession, and honestly, I don't even know what genre this movie wants to be sometimes. It's marketed as horror, but there are moments where it feels like a romance movie, and then 5 minutes later you're sitting there wondering why everyone's making the worst decisions possible. But we'll get into all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Alright, so Obsession follows a guy named Bear, and before anyone asks, no. I still don't know why his name is Bear. The movie never really explains it, so we're just gonna accept it and move on. Bear hangs out with a friend group that includes Nikki, Ian, and Sarah, and they all work together. Pretty early on, you find out Bear has feelings for Nikki. The problem? This man is terrified of actually telling her. And listen, we all been there. Well, maybe not all of us, but somebody watching this video definitely has. So one day, Bear goes to a store called Witchy looking for a gift. He finds a crystal necklace for Nikki, which honestly would have been a perfectly normal plan. But because it's a horror movie, things can't just be normal. While he's there, he comes across this weird item called the One Wish Willow. Basically, it's supposed to grant a wish. And if you ever watched a horror movie before, you already know where this is going. Nothing good ever happens when somebody finds a magical object in a random store. Like, imagine buying something cursed and the cashier doesn't even warn you. I would be asking for a refund immediately. So Bear makes a wish involving Nikki. At first, everything seems fine, but then things start getting weird. And then they start getting really weird. Without getting into major spoilers, the movie basically spoils what happens when somebody gets exactly what they wished for and realizes they probably shouldn't have wished for it in the first place. And honestly, that concept is what kept me interested, because the movie isn't really relying on jump scares all the time. A lot of the horror comes from watching the situation spiral completely out of control. Now, I will say this, some scenes were more uncomfortable than scary. Like, there were moments where I wasn't scared, I was just sitting there thinking, yeah, this is not okay. And I think that's what the movie was going for. As for the characters, I thought Bear was alright. There were definitely a few moments where I wanted to reach through the screen and tell him to stop making bad decisions, but if horror movie characters made smart decisions, we would have no movie. So I guess I'll let it slide. Now, without spoiling the ending, I will say the last part of the movie definitely gets wild. And whether you like the ending or not, it's probably going to depend on what you're looking for. Some people are going to think it's tragic, some people are going to think it's weird, and some people are probably going to sit there for 5 minutes after the credits trying to process what they just watched. I was kind of all three. But overall, I didn't hate Obsession, and that's coming from somebody who's not even a huge horror fan. Actually, my favorite part of the movie was probably the beginning when things felt more grounded and focused on the characters. The horror stuff wasn't bad, I just found the relation side of the story more interesting. And fun fact, I actually watched the movie twice. For some reason I liked it more the second time, maybe because I understood what the movie was trying to do, or maybe I just wasn't sitting there confused half the time. Who knows? So is Obsession worth watching? Honestly, I would say yes, especially if you're into psychology, horror, and movies that get more uncomfortable the longer they go on. It's definitely not perfect, but it's different enough that I think it's worth checking out and forming your own opinion. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know down below if you've seen Obsession and what you thought about it, and let me know what movie I should review next. And hey, if you ever stumble across a One Wish Willow, be smart about what you wish for, because after watching this movie, I learned that some wishes definitely need a terms and condition page, and apparently nobody reads those. I'll catch y'all on the next one. And hey, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. We are trying to stay consistent out here.